All right, guys. So the official RoboCop Rogue City trailer, it's officially out, and I want to give you my reaction on it. I'm super excited to see it. It's coming out on November 2nd, just in time for holidays. So let me give you my reaction to this trailer. I'm really excited, so let's go ahead and let's check it out, shall we?
According to our sources, the attacks were aimed at catching the attention of a man whose identity
All
remains.
Detroit has a cancer, and that cancer is
A
crime.
new crime wave sweeping Detroit has already claimed the lives
The
of
malfunction
21
caught
police
on camera
officers.
provokes a question. Can we put our safety into the hands of a machine?
An OCP holds the scalpel.
My name is Dr. Olivia Blanche. I'm a police psychologist. I specialize in dealing with police officers suffering from emotional trauma.
What's hiding in that metal head of yours?
I think we can both agree that you are no ordinary police officer.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Those trigger-happy maniacs have a ton of hostages.
Drop it, scum.
Anyone expecting a silver freak? Contact!
Lewis, you're here.
We need to get these elevators back online.
It's RoboCop!
It's that service box, isn't it?
I am detecting a short circuit.
Wakey, wakey!
I'm looking at the map of this place, and it's huge.
OCP tracking device torn out. I am going to follow the blood trail.
However, one aspect of your composition that has been severely neglected is your human side, your brain.
We must smash that thing!
I've heard people refer to you by different names.
Okay there, Murphy?
Fire at will!
I'm curious to hear which one you prefer.
My name is...
Wow. Just simply wow. What I have seen here really gets me even more excited. There's a you can tell that there's a rich story here with a theme, and this is what Peter Weller was talking about. He said the only way he can come back into the RoboCop movie, or in this case video game, would be a good story that has a theme to it, that it's just not some mindless spin-off, like they did those little TV show spin-offs on the RoboCop to profit money. And it's good to see on this trailer that they really are focusing on a good story in this game. And there's a theme to it, Clearly, Detroit City has really gone into chaos. But then you can see that Murphy is still struggling with this idea of him being this half human, half machine. Because he's aware, obviously, of who he is and who he was. So there's that conflict. See, so I like that. I like that theme, that there's that theme in the game. I want to kind of slow down the trailer, the speed. I want to kind of look at it and go with slow motion here. So that way we can look at it. A little bit better. Okay, like this. Because if I see something, that way I can pause. Nacon, there it is. This is a crime scene. Kaon, that's the developer. They also worked on a Terminator game. Excellent game, by the way. OCP. Murphy. Alex Murphy. I like this, how you can see your database, and you can look at the officer database, and in this case, Officer Alex Murphy, and that's pretty cool, man. You know, it tells you exactly where he lives. Cool. I know he's deceased, but I think maybe it'll tell us where he used to live. Gives you what type of the awards he got. Miranda Award, current case file, none, deceased. And you see the fact that he's constantly, that your character is constantly going to the computer to learn more about himself. You can see that in this game that Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop, is still struggling with this idea that, you know, he is this half human, half machine, because he has a recall of who he was. And I like these. See, this is what's going to make this game very unique. All right, let's keep going forward. So there's this scientist, doctor, I'm sorry, not a scientist, doctor that works for OCP, Dr. Olivia Blanche. And I assume she is some sort of a psychiatrist as well, and a doctor, that it's evaluating Alex Murphy and his brain and you know, his mental state. Because you got to remember, he's still half human, half robot. And so she's a police psychologist. So she's a psychologist. And this is a police station. I like this. Like that, you can walk around the police station, talk to your psychiatrist, talk to everybody here. This only gonna look. This is just gonna make this game much bigger than what we originally thought. And that's great, man, to see developers put this kind of passion and work towards this game. She specializes in dealing with the police officers suffering from emotional trauma. Okay. And look at that cage. That's exactly the same cage like the one in the movie, in the Paul Verhoeven. And there she is. See, he's having flashbacks. This is that place, that refinery, that place, industrial refinery, that place where Alex Murphy got obviously not just murdered, but he got mutilated, man, by the bullets. His I would say it's probably one of the most graphic mutilation, graphically detailed, mutilated, violent, horrible scenes ever put into a cinematic history. And Paul Verhoeven, you know, at his best, obviously. That's one of the things I liked about Paul Verhoeven, that he doesn't shy away from violence. He says violence is part of who we are as humans. Why should we shy away from it on the big screen? Sex, it's part of who we are as humans. Why should we shy away from it on the screen? And I like that. I like people who just keep it real and they don't try to sugarcoat anything. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Dutch filmmaker Paul Verhoeven. I've been a huge fan of his, even to this day. There he is. You can see Alex Murphy right there. There he is, laying on the ground. Look at the detail that they did here. And see, this is what Peter Weller was talking about. And I knew that Peter Weller... Listen, I follow Peter Weller. I watch all of his interviews. I knew that he would not agree to come back to the RoboCop universe if there was not a theme. I'm sure that the developers brought him a script. They said, here's a script. And he always said one of the biggest issues that he had with RoboCop 2, and he hated RoboCop 2. He said he wishes that he never made RoboCop 2. It's because the movie was only focused on action. on action, and it never really focused on Murphy. Like the guy, just realized that he's a half human and half robot, and that he was murdered by these criminal psychopaths. And he left a widow wife and a children, and he will never be able to be their father again. That has to take a huge emotional toll on a person like that. So how is he dealing with that? How is he, coping with that? On top of dealing with a crime, dealing with a totally fucked up city, sorry for the language, fucked up city, Detroit. And actually, what's even more ironic, Detroit has become fucked up city. Look, if you live in Detroit, you know how fucked up that city has become, with the crime and everything else, and poverty, and this movie really has predicted the future of Detroit. So I like that there is that theme. When I say theme, I mean theme, like a THEME, not a team, but a theme. THEME, THEME, theme. And a theme has to be presented. And what is the theme of the RoboCop? It's Alex Murphy. That's who our hero is. That's who our beloved character is. It's him. We care dearly about him. Yes, we care about Officer Lewis as well, but we care deeply about Alex Murphy, a.k.a. RoboCop. And that's what Peter Weller said. That's what was missing in RoboCop 2. And I know some of you liked RoboCop 2. I mean, I liked it for what it is. I was just happy to see another RoboCop movie, and Peter Weller obviously to be in it. But I do agree the theme was missing. The theme of Alex Murphy. Like, we just forgot about him. We're just going to use him like a toy for whatever our needs are. So that's what I'm seeing here. I like that in the game. And you can see right here that he's constantly dealing with that struggle. So there's a theme here in this game. And I'm dissecting this trailer, and that theme is Alex Murphy and his mental state. And that's why he has this doctor, psychiatrist, to help him cope with what he's dealing with. This is really what's going to make this game, even for me, because I'm looking at it subjectively, because I am a hardcore fan of RoboCop. I've seen this movie more times than Terminator 2, more times than Predator. It's one of my favorite movies of all time in history. So this movie, to me, I mean, it's very personal. My father took me and my brother to see this movie, so there's the memory of that. And this movie always stayed with me for some reason. There's something about this movie that resonates with me. It's almost like Alex Murphy is the outsider of all that's good and pure, and he's stuck in this hellhole of a world, this hellish world that he has to deal with, that he's left here, left a wife, widow, left a son, and now he has to watch from the sidelines and deal with this hell of a city that he's in. It's really that theme. And then trying to cope with mentally, trying to cope with everything else. This is something that people really, am I the only one? I mean, I know Peter Weller talked about this, but is there anybody else who really talked about this? I know Paul also talked. So there's like maybe 3 people, Peter, Paul, and me, who like talked about like, it's like people just They look at it as entertainment. Yes, it is entertainment. But I look at it, and Peter and Paul, they look at it differently. They look at it as like almost like a Jesus figure. This is pure and good. They killed this pure and good person. And now he's resurrected. He's resurrected to do good in this evil world that we live in, you know. And that theme, that's that theme. And then him trying to deal with that, psychologically, mentally trying to deal with that. It's really something that I'm so happy and glad that they are really portraying that in this game. That really makes me even more hyped. It makes me even more excited for this game. So he's dealing with a hot situation here. You can see the armor. The graphics are just top notch, man. Unreal Engine 5. Just looks fantastic. There's Lewis. I'm so happy that both actors are in this game as the voice actors. Peter Weller and Nancy Allen. They're like really good friends. They've known each other since this movie came out, 30 years ago, 30-some years ago. And they've been friends ever since 30-plus years ago, 3.5 decades. And it's, I think about like 30, 36, 37 years ago. 38 years ago, something like that. And it's really, it's pretty cool to see that Peter Weller and Nancy Allen are here. You know, Nancy, it's portraying Officer Lewis, and Peter, it's obviously portraying Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop. So pretty cool. I mean, if this doesn't get you excited about RoboCop game, then you just don't understand RoboCop. Then I don't think you ever seen the movie. I don't think you understand how special this is. If you're a fan of RoboCop, you know this is special. And look at the graphics, man. This is just look at the particle effects. Everything can be destroyed. Look at all that detail and graphic detail, bullet impact. There's Ed 209, and you can use Ed 209 as a backup. That's pretty cool. So you can command Ed 209. And even the characters look great, man. They have that 80s style. You know, like how women back in the 80s had a certain style, which I still find more sexier than today's generation style, to be honest with you. And I like that that Teon has really developers from Teon have really put a lot of passion and effort to really make sure that this is just not some license from the movie quick cash grab. You know, we have seen that in the past, how a lot of developer studios have a deal with licensing of the studio in the movie, and they use the licensed movie to make a quick cash grab. And I'm so happy and glad that's not the case here. And that really makes me super happy, dude. Love it, man. Love the graphics. Look at the graphics on Unreal Engine 5. It almost looks photorealistic, man. Look at this. You can scan everything, check all the details, just like the RoboCop. There's that sniper rifle that he has. Look at the particle effects of the Unreal Engine 5, of that crane, when he shoots all that stuff and comes out. Look at the explosion effects and all of them. It's just mind-blowing. Look at the particle effects of the wheel spinning up. Amazing, dude. Amazing. Everything can be destroyed. There's the doctor. And we see Alex Murphy without a helmet. You see, and even she says right here, if you read right here, however, one aspect of your composition that's been severely neglected is your human side. So you see that human side, that spirit has still survived inside this machine, half robot, half human. And this is the dilemma that poor Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop, has. Because imagine the weight that he has to carry, the pain that he has to carry emotionally that he has to carry, knowing that he's half robot, half human, but also knowing that he could never be a father, he could never love anyone, and he's stuck being this product. So, you know, there right there is the tragedy and sad theme of this story. But it also has a biblical story as well of resurrection, you know, because Jesus was good and pure and he was sacrificed and then he was resurrected. And same thing here, pure goodness here was sacrificed, but then he was resurrected to do good in these dark times. And that's the theme here. But the theme here is, that was the theme in the first movie, but the theme here is, how does he deal with this? And that's what Peter Weller talked about. What does he do next? How does he accept this, knowing what he knows? How do you move forward psychologically? You know, what keeps you together? Fighting crime, you get tired of that after a while. How do you move on? And you can't disconnect yourself because you don't have a right to disconnect yourself because you are property of Omni Consumer Products, OCP. So there's a lot of stuff here, and I like that. There's the chief of police. Love it, man. So, before I end this video, I just want to say, I love the trailer, just like I love the gameplay. Ever since they announced the first trailer, I was hooked, man. And once I heard that Peter Weller's in it, I knew right away, guys. Once I heard that Peter Weller is doing this game, I knew that this is going to be something very special. And keep in mind, we never had a RoboCop game like this. It's been 37 years. Finally, it took 37 years for us to finally get a proper, real RoboCop game, and also a proper sequel. I think Peter Weller is going to look at this game as a proper sequel to the masterpiece RoboCop movie that it truly deserves. Because let's be honest, the RoboCop 2, it was just an action film. There was the soul of the first movie was missing, you know. And I know some of you like it, and that's okay. I mean, I like it for what it is, but I wouldn't say it's the best sequel that it deserves, because I always felt that the RoboCop movie deserved better. And don't get me started with the RoboCop 3 for crying out loud. Not to mention that Peter's not in it, and the other guy, this really is a good example of why studios gotta stop fucking this up, and stop caring just about money. Because a passionate artist cares about the project. The money comes later, But again, that's Hollywood for you. That's the greedy executives. You know what I mean? That's Los Angeles for you. That's Hollywood, California. So, look, I'm super happy about this. I'm very stoked and happy for this trailer. I gave you my reaction. I gave you my breakdown. Man, if you are, I'll tell you, I'm going to end the video by saying this. If you are a true, genuine, hardcore fan of RoboCop, if you're not excited about this game, then, my friend, then you were never a RoboCop fan, okay? I can't think of anyone out there who's a genuine hardcore fan not being excited about this. Dude, this is my most anticipated game this holiday season, period. So, well, there you have it, guys. Can't wait. November 2nd, man. It's going to be Thursday, November 2nd. Perfect for me. Thursday, Friday. Those 2 days, I'll be playing a hell of a lot of this game. So, there you have it. Thank you for watching.